Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the RotoPros Thursday early morning rundown. Josh Kronfeld here, going over the early morning injury news and what it means for tonight's 6-game NBA slate. Thanks for joining me. I'll dive right in. Let's start with the point guard position. Sacramento is a team that we've been liking to target lately. Luka Doncic, when he's healthy, is effectively the entire offense for the Mavericks as the season winds down. I like him a lot tonight in GPP and cash against the Kings. Feel free to run that back with De'Aaron Fox. He's another guy who's jumping off the charts for me this evening as well. Kemba Walker matching up with the Timberwolves tonight as they jockey for playoff position in the East. Tyus Jones will most likely be getting the start for Minnesota as we still have no Jeff Teague and no Derrick Rose. We'll get to Karl Towns later, but he's one of my favorite plays on the slate. But since we're sticking with point guard right now, I'm definitely a fan of Kemba Walker for GPP and cash. Another game that's going to be of interest tonight is the Atlanta Hawks Utah Jazz game. Trae Young is in play, more of a GPP play in my opinion. But one guy that I wrote up that I'm a fan of this evening is Ricky Rubio. Young's defense is automatically in play. Right now, that's Ricky Rubio this evening. And obviously, this is being recorded early in the day, so there isn't much injury news and much value out yet. But going further down at the point guard position on DraftKings, Jamal Crawford and Malik Beasley are two guys who are sub 3,500 who will be in my player pool for GPPs tonight. Moving over to shooting guard, Bradley Beal is a usual suspect these days. You know why. Without John Wall there, he is the offense. He's almost good for around 40 minutes a night as they are dealing with the same situation as Kemba Walker and the Hornets. They're jockeying for playoff position. So Bradley Beal is a cash and GPP play tonight, but I would say he's priced pretty appropriately. So I prefer Doncic for GPP and Bradley Beal for cash. Buddy Hield as well, as we continue with the theme of Sacramento Dallas. That's one of the more popular game stacks tonight. I wouldn't play Hield and Fox together, but one of them is certainly not a bad idea. Jamal Murray at $6,000. He's in play tonight against the Wizards as the Washington offense is a team that we've seen a lot of success stacking against in the second half of the season lately. Jeremy Lamb, I like Kemba Walker tonight, but if you don't play Kemba, Jeremy Lamb is a nice GPP dart. Andrew Wiggins, another cash play for me this evening. He's priced pretty appropriately too, but with Teague and Rose out, the Timberwolves are gonna, there's a lot of usage and scoring responsibility to go around. Nick Batum, he's a little cheaper than what we're used to seeing him. I like him as a GPP dart tonight. Troy Brown Jr. with the Wizards. He's somebody who should probably get the start with Trevor Ariza going down with injury last night. So Troy Brown Jr. at 3,100 tonight will be one of the more popular rostered players on probably DraftKings and FanDuel both. Moving along to small forward. We've already spoken about Buddy Hield. Jabari Parker is another candidate for getting extra minutes tonight with the shorthanded Wizards. Kevin Durant, we'll see if DeMarcus Cousins makes it into the lineup tonight. But if not, Kevin Durant is in play for me. Jeremy Lamb, same deal. Nico Batum, same deal. Harrison Barnes, I consider him more of a cash play, but we have a little bit of a revenge narrative against Dallas as they traded him in the middle of the game a couple weeks ago. So I'm sure he's not too pleased with their organization. Josh Jackson should probably be getting a start tonight as well. We'll check back on the status of Tyler Johnson and I think Oubre has already been ruled out, so Josh Jackson is still a little bit too cheap for the minutes and the usage he'll be getting. Sorry, and then moving over to 4. It's a little bit of a smaller slate today, so I'm repeating some of the same names, but Durant, Blake Griffin's in play for cash. Great matchup against the Suns. I prefer Andre Drummond as a GPP dart for $1,000 more. And I also prefer Troy Brown over Jabari Parker tonight simply because of how much cheaper he is. But both of them are somewhat in play. Millsap is more of a cash play tonight, but I like Jokic and him both. I wouldn't play them both together, but if the Wizards can keep this one close, that game is full of a lot of fantasy goodness. John Collins, big time plus matchup with the Jazz. I do like him tonight for GPP, not for cash. Marvin Bagley III is someone that I've been rostering lately. Now he's probably starting to catch more people's eye. His minutes are up. He's back to his pre-injury form and should be a matter of time before he's bumped into the starting lineup. I think he's still close to $500 to $1,000 too cheap. And the more minutes he gets, the better he will become. And they know that too. This point in the season, I mean, they're fighting for playoffs, I believe, but this point in the year is about player development as well. Dwayne Dedman, same plus matchup as John Collins. I wouldn't play them together, but I do like one of them. Josh Jackson, we've discussed. I like him a lot tonight. Jeff Green as well. He's someone who should be get a bump in minutes with the Washington shorthanded roster. Keep an eye on Maxi Kleber. He's questionable at the moment, so we'll check back with injury news as the day progresses. And last but not least, moving over to centers, Karl Towns is my top play on the slate. There's too much usage and injury to go and scoring responsibility to go around with Teague and Rose both out. Minnesota is still fighting for playoffs. Karl Towns has been on an insane run for the second half of the year, but that'll be that looks like it'll be set to continue as the Hornets are playing without Cody Zeller tonight, and Bismack Biyombo should probably be getting the start. Who's one of my favorite punts. We'll wait back for confirmation that he is starting, but Biyombo most likely be in there to match up against Towns tonight. I like Niko Jokic as well, but I prefer Millsap for the price. Andre Drummond, I think, is a great GPP target. I prefer him to Blake Griffin tonight. DeMarcus Cousins is probable, so he'll probably be back in there. So that kind of puts me off of the Warriors stars. John Collins, we've discussed. Dwight Powell, he's in play, but I think he's priced pretty well. Bagley, we discussed. And that does it for me. Bismack Biyombo is my top punt. Thomas Bryant could get a little bit more minutes too, but I prefer Bismack. And my top play of the day is Karl Towns. My surprise play is going to be Luka Doncic. I think he's going to have a very big evening and could be one of the high scorers on the slate. Thank you. We'll check back. Who's my top three for DK? Sorry, I didn't see that before. In terms of just expensive guys who I think will be high scorers, Karl Towns is number one. Jokic is probably number two. Jokic or Drummond. And then I'm a big fan of Kemba Walker tonight, and I'm a big fan of Luka Doncic too. Yeah, so keep those guys. That's my top three. All right, thank you. I'll be available in the chat for more as the day goes on. Thanks.